This is fundamentally a fighting game where you have to learn 3 characters and they're matched up against 30 other characters, and all the nuances that involve each of those 3 characters acts completely differently off of their 3 different assists that are off screen. So you need a massive amount of practice, and 2 weeks still showing a little bit of weakness on the Cell and the Kefla. I feel like the reason why a lot of people are saying the Kefla is really strong right now on release is that you just get a lot of power for not much practice on Kefla. Like, her combo structure is straightforward. Like, she's got a wall bounce, she's got like a knockdown in the air, and you just combo into it at all times. And then, for not very much effort, knockdown, you throw out 1 level 1 super, you do 1 quarter circle, and you've already got a crazy mix situation if the person doesn't know how to do it. With that tiny little bit of practice that you can do in like an hour, you already have a relatively strong character to work with. That combined for powerful key blasts and basic buttons and the multi-hitting auto combo makes you get a lot of power for not much practice. Cell, however, incredibly complex character. All of his buttons are so weird. He's got that like double 5M, like 4M stagger thing going on. He's got like the extra low going on.
Extra low. He has a whole bunch of different stuff that you have to figure out.
Air combos are totally off as going you are always going to confirm. They buffed the tracking on it in Season 2, and they didn't touch it at all in Season 3. Tico on auto combos is still ridiculous. Kefla's B assist has got about the same range, the same block stun, the same hit stun as Yamcha's assist. It's one of the best assists we had on all of Season 2. Taps Teddy, who wasn't expecting to be hit from that far away, and gets a combo. Pulls off Broly's shirt. I like the jump, the up out, jump out, and the uncross craziness that Kefla. The long instrumented hitbox. I'm over here, I'm over there.
Oh, the CS is teleported out.
Spike's blocking all of that.
I think part of Spike's looking quite dominant right now with the CS is making easy combo. Is able to block these overhead. EX grab! We saw Teddy fuzzy mashing 2L again right there, but it's too slow. I don't know. Actually, most EX grabs are the same speed as the medium grabs, just you don't have to use a bar to combo off them. Both Blue Goku's, Base Goku's, Z Broly's, all the EX grabs at the exact same frame days that medium grabs. I need to check Super Broly's, but maybe Super Broly's are, I don't know. Back to H, picks it up. Teddy's... Oh, what? It whiffed! And then he tried to TH and kept it. And she gets the shout, wave all this energy around that she just learned how to use today. This is the first time she's used. Oh, no mix though. It's just... I feel like Kefla doesn't get mixed unless she's solidly in the corner where she stuns it. No! Spikes tried taking his turn, but he forgot that pizza delivery was late! If you're blocking pizza, you're in a terrible like, -20 situation. It's not quite as bad as Kid Boo's because there's no gap in Kid Boo's gunball. There is a gap between the first and second pizza and the second back because they didn't get the right toppings. Teddy got opened up by the command throw. Kefla's unique lariat, where she runs forward, it actually hits low, like full screen. And Teddy was blocking high, and that's why he got opened up this time. Oh no! The wake up level 3 came out the wrong side! It's like... Yeah, the side switch.
like the backdash from Teddy. It's a very safe option.
Oh, trying to get up for the
Stagger into throw. Just guard cancel timing using the second hit of Gohan's auto combo. That's yeah, I think he would have been able to block. Oh, the explosion from the Super Broly made it hard to see.
Mash out after the
Spikes was slightly in the air, so the vanish came out high. So Teddy was negative right there. That was actually the right move to mash out.
I wasn't sure.
Feels so weird going seeing Goku Black die this early in the match. Because usually I'm like, oh man, he's got his beam assist in the back. He got taken care of. His advantage is going to be weaker, yada yada yada. But Goku Black's not played anchor anymore, as far as I can tell.
He's also not
Look, I'm the only one using beam assist on Black right these days.
that was
Yeah. Big reason why the beam was useful in Season 2 is that the Super Broly assist, the large explosion there makes it hard to see the tick throw. Level 1 should be enough to kill right here.
there's a lot of really big explosive like spikes.
Yeah, without any assist, no working pressure situation.
It's really hard. A lot
Oh yeah. The reason why 1v3 is such a hard situation is not only do you have to put out mix-ups you but also, because your defender's got multiple characters to work with, so if he like mashes out and like needs to a character over, you still have 2 more in the back. Take the risk. You've got more things to worry about. They've got fewer things to worry about. Your mashing coming out from the golden level, Frieza level 3. Who's going to take it? Teddy uses Spark Finish in order to get out of the corner. Oh no! That's 5H. I think I'm trying to jump cancel, but it was too late. Oh yeah, this might actually... Did he press a button? Oh. He pressed that button! Go down! Nope. I want to keep this character, and I want to get rid of your character.
Spikes is up 2-0. Let's see if Teddy's got a bit of a hill to climb.
It's possible. Teddy is actually pretty surprisingly adaptable when I've played him. Like, oftentimes, I call him my kryptonite. It's not because I can't take games off him, it's because I can't take sets off him. He just always, like, figures out what I'm doing, and he, like, adapts to it, like, in one game flat.
Teddy's really good at figuring out.
And apparently he's playing Majin Buu.
He was playing against me a little bit casually with Majin Buu, and I'm not good at fighting Majin Buu, but...
I don't think anyone's good at fighting Majin Buu, although he's a lot easier. I believe they made it so his Fat Toss always air text in this season, so it's no longer as oppressive as it used to be.
It's still very good, though. It is a very good button to use, or special, yeah. But there's a lot of situations where you use it now, and is the B assist the Fat Toss assist?
Yeah, B assist is Fat Toss assist. It's basically the combo capability of C assist because of just how much time it gives you to work with, but it's got no block stun at all.
Oh!
Italia's corner pressure. Corner pressure.
Does he have snapbacks? Spikes pressed the button on incoming, and he did it instantly. It's straight rock, paper, scissors on grounded snapback.
The overhead cover. I do believe that jumps right from
I think he makes it hits out the Gohan assist. Hits the low! I don't think so. Majin Buu's combo traps were really weird. This time Spikes delays it, and the Dragon Rush whiffs. He's this big flattening club. He does not look like a mixed monster.
Back down.
The assist again! Straight rock, paper, scissors, like, jump button beats instant anything, but it's gonna lose to delay anything. And his like back cartwheel things are also like crazy distance as far as the board, and also DCQ is relatively safe with launch strings using it. It's hard to use. You know that you need a lot of practice in that. In Season 2, he was a bit weaker because he was a little fuzzy. That's been taken away, but also his strongest mixing tool is the stand capability. That toss has been taken away as well. What isn't being taken away is the fact that he eats dinner. Kefla goes down.
Looks like part of it
Spike's been practicing Kefla, so more than most people, he's actually knows what makes him out of able to block more.
Let's see.
It's also like very difficult tools, and that EX Dragon Punch is surprisingly hard to punish. Because it doesn't really have a follow-up animation, just like, it's like not obvious that it came out unless you like practice against it. In Season 2, you didn't see very much of the EX Dragon Punch because it was an EX move. You didn't get much out of it, and it was expensive.
That would work.
I think he was going for level 3, but got slide swapped, so got level 1, but it was still good enough in order to take it. Raw tag, you have to hold the button. It is slower than straight super dash. That is a heavily, that should be a heavily scaled starter. I don't think it's enough.
It's going to be right twice. I think there's going to be a sliver.
Yeah, I think there's a sliver left as well. He's alive. Alive. Oh, you saw the green flash of the Dragon Rush. Teddy took the Dragon Rush.
Now, we've got Frieza with Sparking. It's going to be a hard time to
Oh, use Sparking to keep the unsafe move safe.
Not dead.
It was a banish confirmed, so he couldn't turn into Golden Frieza. If that was a grounded combo starter, Spikes was down. Teddy's...
Oh, the level 3! Oh, the pizzas take him out!
The full screen!
What?
Colin is currently going around in circles right now.
Damn! I definitely thought the level 3 was gonna win out, and then when the pizzas
was a little bit too far. It didn't go across the whole screen. It just barely lost its invulnerability before the pizzas hit.
I think if he got a very slight micro patch, he might have gotten it. That was intense. That was so close. Teddy manages to take game 3 though, and he still ain't here. He does need to reset the bracket. So it's still gonna be some work, but Majin Buu's been working for him.
Time to face your opponent.
Ah, that's.
That was a hell of an interaction.
That was. I remember. I think it was replay too. We first started level 3s too. That's like the feeling I got. Because the entire like, what the hell?
What just happened? Where did my level 3 go?
Even though I think part of it really doesn't
Better. And Teddy doesn't want to lose Majin Buu, calls out the guard cancel. Kefla's biggest weakness is that she just leaves her strings open and hits guard cancel all the time. Spikes is still alive here? Oh, just barely behind her sliver.
Oh, she's still alive.
Gets out, her assist is going to be available. Getting slammed down to the corner, the character that Spikes wants to get rid of. With level 3 Oki. Walks low, staggers, resets, 5L, tick, Dragon Rush. Not quite. Doesn't have enough meter for it, and the assist doesn't pick up the extension. Teddy raw tags, but it's too slow. Gets taken by the Dragon Rush. Okay, I'll take this character into the corner. Rah! Good call on the air tech, but Teddy sparks up in order to save the character. The Key Blast hits Spikes down tech into buttons.
I still think that's a really good situation for a decision.
Oh no!
No!
He hit it 1-2 move too late, so the third hit of young Gohan's auto combo, which is safe, was able to block the guard cancel. EX Slice, it's incredibly strong ground start. Like, even if you just jump up and try blocking back, you have to do it really, really quickly. Like 8 frames to block back after that first jump. You just have to be practicing it. Double overhead. If he had 5 bars at the end. Oh no! Collect bait!
Oh, it's gonna.
Kefla's solo on Anchor.
No sparking either. Still 2 characters to get through this.
Oh yeah. And I don't think that Kefla makes a good Anchor character because her best stuff, like the Ozone mix, she needs another character to set it up.
It's those assists.
She's got good Key Blast game on the ground, but like her dashes are very unsafe. Her air mobility, she only has that one for the dash because her only air special is that incredibly slow spinner.
Like she has pretty solid.
Oh, backdash gets caught by EX Rocket Kick.
Oh, but doesn't get the follow.
Because it wasn't quite close enough to the corner?
I feel like it would have hit anyways.
I think there wasn't enough delay. Oh no, the empty low. Teddy's not able to block it.
Instead he has the assist. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be death. Teddy. Oh. That was a really good grand finals, though. Teddy started coming back with the Majin Buu team, trying to figure it out, trying to beat out the Team Gohan and Broly, but it was definitely a hard time. Spikes is a very good player. He's
Very solid,
good
careful, defensive, and he's just like, I'm going to wait until your mix-up's done, I'm going to wait until you're out of assist, and I'm going to throw out a big button and see if I catch you. That's exactly what happened at the end. The EX Rocket Kid, like, okay, you're out of assist, you're out of pressure, I'm going to see if you're backdashing. I'm going to see if your pressure is done. I'm going to see if this is real or not.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely really good at catching you in different situations that a lot of the time people don't catch you very much, that you get away scot-free. And he's very good at taking advantage of those situations and really fighting you for every inch that you try to take.
Oh yeah. As Spikes, with a convincing performance, not losing a single set all night in the round robin and top 4, is our winner of House of Mangaka 12 for tonight, as we're currently exchanging goodbye hugs. It looks like Teddy's heading out like right now, and they're passing out the tournament prize money for Spikes' well-earned victory.
Yeah. It was very well done by all the competitors, though. I saw some really cool stuff, new stuff that I haven't seen before, a lot of really interesting character synergies, a lot of different work that people put in.
I'm also seeing a lot of Kefla today.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I feel like about half the people playing Kefla today are eventually going to drop her because although her easy stuff is really easy to pick up, I feel like her complex and strong stuff is going to take a lot of effort in order to go really deep with her. And eventually people are going to learn like the animation on the 6H, or like her command overhead. It's slow, and you like once you know what to look for, you can eventually block it because it is easier to block than the universal 6M overhead.
I feel like part of it is she's going to have a bit of a mix between what she's using there, because if you start looking out for one a little bit too much, you might just get caught by the other one, too.
Right, because she also has got the command low to go with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the command low is a lot faster than the command overhead. And actually, both of them are fundamentally gaps in block strings. You can actually reflect both of them.
I don't think you can reflect her light command load.
Okay, maybe not the light version, but the medium
but
version's
the
18
medium
frames.
version, but if you want to, it's a good frame trap because she can frame trap using both of those.
So like
the
even doing
6M
something
is
as simple
less-
as 5L medium low, the medium command low, that will
exactly.
beat people who are like doing a delayed button in order to try and tech the 5L Dragon Rush.
Yeah. So you get some really good things off of it too, because it wall bounces with the medium version too. So she gets a lot off of those kind of mix-ups. She gets a combo off of the 6H hitting without any bar spent. So she has a lot of really solid mix-up options that she gets a lot out of afterwards, including most of the time she'll get a bar off of it because she doesn't have to spend anything and lose all of the bar during the
And I believe
combo.
that her standard combo ender, the big spinning disc in the air, builds a lot of meter.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of hits in that that you get at the end, and then you can usually go into the Hell Zone mix. Pretty hard to deal with.
And this is all stuff that you get for not very much practice at all.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
basically the hard part is learning that my Hell Zone is like a different button than my normal super, and like knowing that how much to delay the air version versus the ground version of her level 1 supers. Beyond that, just like pressing 2 or 3 buttons and putting up the Hell Zone mix on sliding knockdowns gives you a lot of power of Kefla with not too much practice.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why we're seeing relatively strong performance here, even though Mangaka's cell needs a lot more work. Yeah, and even though he's had about the same time, even though he's had about the same amount of time in order to practice his cell as everyone else has had there to practice their Kefla.
Yeah. Part of it is she's a very, I'd like to call her a simple, difficult character to learn. Where it's like,
That's a perfect description, I think, actually.
because she has some really simple and solid things that you can use reliably in a lot of different situations, and it just works out. Her 5LL is really good. Really crazy stuff against Reflect. Gets back in really easily. Really good mix off of not too much most of the time.
Yeah, but even just a dash combined with an assist.
See you
Thanks for
later,
coming
Ted.
up, Teddy.
Yeah, that was really good.
Like even just doing her side swapping dash followed by an assist. If people aren't looking or ready for it, that's just like an easy just tap them low. You've got a hit.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still fundamentally very negative if not covered by an assist. It's a little bit like Adult Gohan's fast fall. It doesn't look like it, but that thing's like minus 24. Even though it like looks like it's like, oh, it's still his turn. It's because
Yeah,
you have to like watch for the start of the animation rather than the end of it.
Yeah.
The other upside of emphasize the point you're saying, like she's a difficult, easy character, is that like that side swip move where she like teleports behind you, she's gone on frame 4. It's the same speed
Yeah.
as Vanish. So it's also a defensive tool if you know what to use it for.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good thing to use in the air. I've seen a lot of people use it to get out of the corner pretty safely. If you use it and then call an assist, you might
Especially
even
a
be
fast
able to
assist
take
like
the
Frieza
corner
B.
away. Yeah, exactly. It's a very good assist, very strong, pretty solid character all around. Some pretty solid mixes even off of level 3. She gets side switch off of her own level 3. Of course, that's a little bit easier to react to than other things that I've seen before. He won one. He definitely won one. He won the right when he switched
Right.
to Majin Buu.
Yeah, Majin Buu was great that time.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is Kefla's going to be a killer to people who aren't ready for her.
She's she's a pub stomper.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you don't get not very much effort. You get a lot of immediate power, even though that power isn't necessarily as crazy much as Kid Buu has with his gumball mix-ups.
Yeah, exactly. Because part of it with the gumball mix-ups is you really have to learn about that. With her mix-ups are just, I press this button and I might hit you. Or you might not block it, or you might mix yourself up a little bit, because I've definitely mixed myself up with her low, because her block strings are actually pretty solid too. She has really good pushback on her block strings as well.
So she can like disengage safely without very many issues.
Yeah, exactly. She's also got, I don't know if you've seen it before too, but she can push block with 2 assists across the entire screen into the other corner. Like, because of the way that her standing medium, the amount of push block,
You can
and how
you can
far
coast
that
to
you
coast
move,
pure true block string.
yeah, you can coast to coast true block string with her, which, you know, is cool.
Okay, I thought we patched that out with Season 3 when removing Teen Gohan's and Adult Gohan's infinite sparking loop.
I mean, she does have to use the assist, so if she does coast to coast, she probably doesn't have much of a mix other
And
than
she,
6M.
if she didn't open you up with the coast-to-coast thing, she's probably not opening you up solo in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she might hit you with something. There's always unreal stuff that you might get hit by if you weren't ready for it. What might not have punished something the right way. Her spacing and a lot of other stuff is pretty solid. Something I'm wondering about that I haven't seen very much, I don't know if it's just not a great option, is her 214 light medium used in neutral. Like maybe lockdown with an assist and then diving in. I don't know if that'd be a solid mix. You might be able to side switch with that. I'm not sure if someone's in the air.
I'm gonna have to look into that one because I haven't seen it myself. So
I haven't seen anything
much
like
of it
that
either.
myself,
So
but I'm
it
just
tells
throwing
me it's
things
either
out there.
unsafe or people just haven't practiced it yet.
Yeah, because I think if you do the light version, I do think she can't get hit immediately out of it. I think it's safe with the light version, but I do think you're minus. So I think part of it is like when you've already used the assist, you're looking to do longer pressure.
And at that point, it's like kind of similar to like Bardock Lariat, where sometimes you mash and just get lucky with it.
Yeah, exactly. But there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff that's happening this season, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right. I will jump off and Spikes can get in here.
Okay. As we're doing our traditional interview of the winner right now.
Yep. We got Spikes.
Does Mangaka want to do it to interview his house? Okay, solid. Okay. Excellent win, Spikes. Great job.
Thank you, thank you.
Boop. And so today we saw you pulling out a team focused strongly around Kefla on point. What made you decide to practice Kefla ever since she came out just like 2 weeks ago and put that much time into her?
So you know when I picked up Broly,
Yeah.
and what was my answer to that? It was I felt it in my gut, dude.
This
When I
character
picked-
is me.
Exactly. I picked up the character and I was like, I drink a Sprite. Use me, and then I went in, dude. But in all seriousness, though, it was really the mix-up potential that I had. And you've seen, what I did on like all my Oki setups and everything. I pressure people. I don't go for the level 1, as you saw me exposing everything on it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just a lot of things that I was exposing on Teddy's Kefla that, I need to make him aware of, right? It's like, level 1, don't do that. Don't waste your meter on that garbage, right? If you're going to use that as an Oki setup, the level 1 Hell Zone, use it in a block string. Always use that in the block string. If you don't use that in a block string, they're just going to reflect. All you got to do is reflect twice. You can mash, do anything, and Kefla's just going to get blown.
Although it's a little bit harder than it looks because there's only like a 4-frame window we can get that first reflect in, and if you don't get that first one in, you're not going to be able to get a second one in. But if you can get that 4-frame window every time, just reflect, you're safe.
Yeah, easy enough. And what you saw me, every time except for like one time, I was reflecting and then almost blowing up every single one of his setups. Either that or I took my turn back. There was only one time where I reflected and my 2L just went on the wrong side. I'm just like,
Oh yeah, I saw that one
Yeah, I
point,
was
like that the crossed over and
Yeah, I
knocked
was
you out the
like-
corner.
he do not have a, I was supposed to blow it up. I was expecting him to get hit. So that's what happened. But, I really like the character. I hate her character archetype in the show. I really do. But that's not going to stop me from playing a good character that I like.
We're playing a fighting game where we're here to master the mechanics in order to improve ourselves and practice it. The lore is not going to hold you back as long as the character works for you.
Exactly. And I like what she showed. I like her dash mix-ups. I don't like a neutral. I think it's like one of the most terrible things in neutral, to be honest.
Even though she's got like one of the best key blasts in the game on the ground, it's like crosses the screen as fast as like Teen Gohan's. She's got multiple options out of it.
So use the dash to go over like the key blast, right? Let's say if the key blast, I go over that. Like it's like 30 frames recovery or something like
On
that.
the dash?
25. Yeah, the dash. So you dashed, and key blast is like a few frames of recovery. They could still recover and take their turn.
So even if they throw out a Key Blast, you dash through it, it's still their turn.
Exactly. So that's why
Okay.
you never see me use it and just utilize my own neutral with the character. So you'll never see me use dash in neutral unless like I feel like they're gonna throw out a beam.
And it sounds like mastering the dash is the most important part of getting good at Kefla because it gives her mobility, gets her out of the corner, basically the same way as a vanish without having to spend a bar or get the risk of getting 2H'd, as well as giving up her mix-up potential if used properly.
Exactly, yeah. And so it could be used in many different ways, but my main use is mix up.
So I haven't practiced too much with Kefla myself. When I played against Poet's Kefla earlier, she was using this move where in the air where she throws out the disc and then shoots across of it. Poet specifically, it felt like it was coming out a lot slower than the others. Can you like hold that one down in order to change its properties? Like delay it?
Instead of this, like you mean that
The
thing?
spinning thing in the air.
Like that?
Yeah. Would you like
Yeah,
jump?
so he can hold it right there for like I think up to like 30 frames. And depending on how long he holds it, if he holds it all the way, he'll only throw a key blast.
Instead of actually dashing.
Exactly. But if he just boot and then goes right away and just lets it rip, the character will motion forward.
Um, I saw that obviously you never used it in neutral unless like you had like a guaranteed punish against the super dash. Well, it was also although it's still an excellent tool in combos. Is there a reason why, other than its extremely long startup, that you weren't ever using it in neutral?
I just feel like I have better options.
You got better options.
Yeah, I got a key blast for a reason.
Oh yeah, she's got the strong angle on her aerial key
And,
blasts.
Yeah, and if I want to cover, like certain options, I got my Broly assist to just go in the air. If I want to cover myself, I'll block. Like there ain't nothing wrong with blocking, dude.
Yeah, blocking is really strong in this game. Many
Yeah.
other games, you take significant chip damage. No, very little chip damage. You build a lot of meter, and as long as you can block the mix-up or know when the guard cancel the assist, blocking is actually a very good option in this game.
And you saw me today and how I was doing with my defense. I feel like I was pretty solid overall.
Oh yeah, there was one point where Teddy crossed you up 3 times in a row, pushing you half screen with his Kefla, and you just blocked all of it and eventually just punched him.
Yeah, so you either make them crack on your offense or you defend so long that you make them crack on their offense.
And just extreme patience and trying to figure out what your opponent's doing is the name of the game.
Exactly.
Is that what you've been trying to do tonight, or was that specifically against the Teddy matchup?
No, that's what I've been trying to do for a while. So I actually switched up how I viewed the game and approached it, right? Because I feel like I hit a stump. Like I just got put on a wall, and this is as far as I could go, and I hated that.
And you were having a hard time getting past
Exactly.
that.
It's like, yeah, I can mix people. But one thing that always stopped me was my neutral and my defense. So all I've been doing really whenever I play a match now is one, mainly focus on neutral. If I can't get in around everything while preserving as much of my assists as possible for advantageous positions, then I'm not really going to win. And because I already have my mix-ups, why do I have to worry? I have mix-ups. I don't need to worry about that. So I don't worry about that. That just flows normally. Now, defense is another thing, right? I will sometimes just sit there and see if I can block everything. If I get hit, well, why did I get hit? Was it
Well,
because
you learned that you new mix-up that you need to block.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just want to try and improve my defense as much as possible, try and improve my neutral as much as possible. And I just want to make sure that I am all around just pretty great in every statistic that I can think of for the game. Offensively, defensively.
Are we getting audio from that game right
Not really.
now? Okay, just checking sure.
Yeah,
Okay, just checking to make sure. Okay, as the other two have got a casual going on the tournament side, I wanted to make sure it wasn't interrupting the interview.
Oh, no, for sure. I understand.
And then the other members of your team, do you feel like they're in a good position right now? Are you happy with how the assists are working out?
Yes, I love all the assists. Broly Eraser Ball is by far my favorite thing that got changed for Broly. I was a little skeptical at first, I was
Like,
all
it
right,
goes up, it's going to be hard to use in neutral,
No, no,
maybe
no,
knocks you up in pressure and combos.
I saw the angle, and I already love it in neutral for Broly. It's just such a good angle. People are so used to Z Broly, just straight forward. I'm going to just jump. No, I throw in their back down. It's like, oh, right. This is super Broly. But having it as an assist and all the hits that I have, I mean, granted, I need to practice a little bit better on reacting to picking it up on with super jumps because they just get launched super high. Kefla, I like her assist.
Yeah, her B assist was doing a lot of work today.
Oh yeah. People, it kind of has like a startup of a C assist, but it leaves the opponent standing, leaving for potentially I could go for restand stuff, which I'll practice some other day.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually. I'll eventually get to that. And Team Gohan, I've been trying not to see assists, mostly just to see how it feels.
That long cooldown is like a bit of a turnoff when you just look at him at first, right?
Yeah, that was actually no, it was just the blocks that I had, right? That was really the main thing that got me. I didn't really care for the cooldown because Broly just has long combos. Like I don't know if you noticed, but like during my combo, he was already halfway done after just using him. So and then I already had Kefla to just go in one, and then I could just do another rep of meteor showers. And by the time I get to the if I open you up and I get it again, then T Gohan's available right there and then. So I'm not too worried about the cooldown all that much as far as a lot of CSs go. As long as they give me some good utility, because there's some times where maybe I'm blocking, throw the CSs preemptively, and they get caught, right? And then I get a free combo. Or maybe I can use it in like neutral just to like see if they're paying attention to like the little glow.
Like the little glow, and like notice like did you call the just like strike assist close by to like catch me going in, or are you like calling the full screen following C assist?
The full screen following C assist. That'd be, let's see if they're paying attention, right? And if they're not paying attention, they start blocking, then I can just go in for free for the most part.
Especially if they start blocking way too preemptively. It's like, oh, we called the C assist, and they're like, then they're standing there for 30 frames while it's still starting up and just waiting for it.
Exactly. I think it's like 30, whatever technical
I believe it's 45 frame startup outside of combos for most of the C assists.
Yeah. Also, that's one thing I do want to mention. I did find something very interesting.
Oh?
Like not that long ago. So, you know how in combos the C assist, the startup is like instant.
20 frames right
yeah,
now.
like super instant or whatever. And in like before it's like 45 startup. So I found something super interesting in a knockdown. Right, I was just in training mode and I was just messing around with it. I knocked the bot down. They were still in a knockdown position, and before they got up, I called my C assist and it bypassed the startup and got the 20. As opposed to the 45.
So it might have still been in like the situation where a super could have hit, so the C assist thought I was still comboing.
Exactly. So as long as the combo, counter is still up, it still counts as a combo because you still have an opportunity. You call it, maybe build up some crazy Oki situation in the corner. Maybe like just jump forward and then just call the assist. And if they, and it won't work on delay tech, but let's say if they just tech in place, right, by chance, they get caught and maybe you have like a 50 frame or C assist. And all you do is just jump, they block the 50 frame, and now you have a situation of going high or low. So that's just some things.
If they don't delay tech, that's huge.
Yeah. If they don't delay tech, if they do delay tech, all you gotta do is just time it so you just catch or delay.
And there's still a chance, depending on the specific CSS used, that they might act delay into it.
Exactly. So it's just an interesting thing that I noticed just like not that long ago. And I'll probably just mess with it someday, but like maybe not tonight or like this week.
It is still fundamentally hard read that they're not going to delay tech.
Oh no, for sure. But like, I don't know. I feel like for some assists it might be worth just to throw it out just to see, just to cover as many options as possible. Because covering as many options as possible and
is like a big name of the game on offense.
Yeah, and if they see the CS, it's like, oh my god, what the hell are they doing? Right? They might start to freak out. You can cover their up tech.
Especially if they weren't expecting to show up in 20 frames. If you can hit that like 1 frame before they start waking up, 20 frame recovery versus 20 frame startup on the C assist.
It's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. So, just an interesting note to just keep in mind.
Another thing to look out to practice. Was there anything else that you would like to call out on today? Is like rather relaxed night because your team is like solid. Like you've been practicing. You love how the assists have been working. Kefla just like fits in your hand perfectly. You had a solid game plan against Teddy, and you played Mangaka, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. He was personally my favorite to win tonight. How'd you feel going into that match?
Honestly, when I saw him go up against Fable Heath, I knew I had it in the bag.
Like you felt like he was playing up it off today?
Yeah. I saw that he wasn't like at his best, and going up against the NGEN Slayer, right? You got to be playing your A game. If you're not playing your A game, then you're in for quite the rude awakening, if I say so myself. So. I don't like to sound cocky or nothing. I just like to point out a lot of things.
You won. You got a right to do a bit of bragging.
I know, right?
In fairness, I wrote myself up too after playing Fable.
Yeah. Yeah, so after seeing his first match performance, I was like, either he needs to warm up or that cell is just rustier than I'm assuming, right? So that's really all there was to it. Um, and I knew my K-Flip was ready. She's got everything I need her to need to know, and hopefully in the future I can come up with some crazier stuff to show everyone.
You showed some pretty solid, if fundamental, Kefla play because she's just fundamentally got really solid buttons at the start of it today. Anyways, I think that's great for an interview, and thank you very much for tuning in to Mangaka's House of Dragon Ball number 12, our winner right here, Espire Spikes. Spikes.
Spikes! You have fused the names and have become more powerful.
You're gonna put on the Botari earrings right now.
I put the Botari rings with myself and I fuse my two names together. That's just what happens.
Okay. Anyways, thank you very much for tuning in, as this was a wonderful and relaxing House of Dragon Ball, a lot less hectic than the 18-man brackets we've run in the past, and everyone gets the chance to play each other, and give it up for our winner, Spikes.
Yay me.
I'll be right there, kids.
Okay.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna
Mangaka's going to clean up after his own house at this point.